Breaking news, a very serious situation in Kearny Mesa unfolding before our eyes. Skyfox over the scene. This is a plane crash that has happened on Othello Road in Kearny Mesa. The Fox 5 studios are very close to this. We have crews that are on the way to the scene. You can see that there are some people, it looks like, on stretchers, so we can only hope that there are survivors. The size of this aircraft makes you lead you to believe that nearby Montgomery Field is either where they were coming in for a landing near the 163, or perhaps they were ascending and had some sort of engine failure. We don't know the cause. We don't know about injuries on the ground or the fate of any members who might have been on board, a pilot or passengers. Again, this is unfolding in Kearny Mesa. We can see several emergency vehicles on the scene. It does not look like there is any kind of fire, although it does look like there's plenty of foam that has been sprayed across the aircraft. So when it came down, there certainly must have been some kind of combustion there. You can see that they are gingerly moving around the fuselage. I don't know if some of these rescue workers, firefighters, are trying to extract anyone who might be jammed in there. Again, this is a small aircraft that we believe was either coming in or landing at Montgomery Field near the 163. This just happening moments ago in Kearny Mesa, and we hear the air patterns or flight patterns of all these aircraft going back and forth from Montgomery Field. It's a very busy small airport, if you will, municipal airport. So a lot of private planes and single-engine aircraft, and it looks like when you look at the 163, it may be causing a bit of a backup, although at 5:41 in the afternoon, it might simply be regular traffic. I'm going to bring in Andrew Loria to join me on our coverage here as we try to pick apart what's happening here. And Andrew, it looks like they have the scene certainly under control, but again, we don't know about any injuries, although we do still see a gurney out there.
Yes, and I'm getting word, Kathleen, as we look at kind of location here. This is on Othello Road, right behind the Costco, as you can kind of see there. And you can imagine all those folks that are coming home in that evening commute certainly probably witnessed this plane coming down. It is hard to tell, as you said, whether or not they have anybody who they have taken out of the plane, although it kind of seemed like from our indication a couple minutes ago that there was not a huge sense of urgency, which would lead you to believe that they either took some people away already, or as they looked inside, they saw that the fate was the worst that they could imagine, obviously. The wing of the plane, one of the wings anyway, looks extremely damaged, as it must have come in for a hard landing. And right behind the plane, which you can kind of see right there at the bottom of your screen, right above the red bar there, is a wheel. So certainly whatever happened as far as how the plane came down, it was a harsh landing, and the wing on the right side here is very heavily damaged. The one on the left side seems to be intact. We saw some firefighters a couple minutes ago kind of looking inside, trying to figure out, I guess, who was in there, if there was anybody in there at that point, or maybe what was going on inside the plane at that point. But you'd have to believe, by looking at that and maybe something of a lack of urgency around the scene, that perhaps there was a fatality. It's not confirmed, of course, but that appeared to be the case. We have Paul Bloom on the phone right now, and he is an experienced pilot and one of our own here at Fox 5. Paul, what can you tell us about that area? Montgomery Field, Othello Road is where this plane went down behind the Costco, but as far as what you have seen to this point, what could have happened possibly, as we can see Montgomery Field there, just maybe a half a mile, quarter mile away?
It's in a place where planes would be taking off and then crash after takeoff if they had a fuel problem. But this one, I understand, was coming from the west, making what they would call a downwind landing, because the wind blows in from the west, and the main runway there, 28 left and right. The longer runway is 28 right. It appears that he clipped the edge of the target building right there on what is it, Kearny Mesa Road, is it? Anyway, and then.
That is our Paul Bloom. We may have lost contact with him. We'll try to get him back. He is an experienced pilot as well as a journalist and has a lot of experience flying in and out of Lindbergh Field. So we'll make an effort to bring him back for some more information and insight. By the way, this is believed to be a fixed-wing, single-engine aircraft. And it was Paul Bloom's belief, based on the juxtaposition of the aircraft between this Costco and Target in the parking lot, that perhaps one of the wings actually clipped one of the buildings. At this point, we aren't able to confirm any of that information, but he does believe that it was probably trying to come in for a landing. And when we get him back on the phone, I'd certainly like to ask him, based on the damage that we're seeing, was this a belly landing, possibly a landing gear not coming down, or what he might venture to guess based on the damage, because the plane, for the most part, does look pretty well intact. If you are just joining us, this is playing out in Kearny Mesa. This is a small plane that has gone down and crashed in a Costco Target parking lot. And by the way, a very busy area for families and people running errands and that sort of thing. So if no one was injured on the ground, that certainly is a positive. Let's get Paul Bloom back on the line. And Paul, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.